What is up, chat? We are here. We're doing a video. We're going to be talking about strategery in fighting games. Now, this is such a hot topic because I always feel strategy is the thing in fighting games that get people the most confused. There's so many different ways you can come up with strategies, and there's many different strategies that you could use depending on the character. A lot of people don't know how they want to win in the game. Now, I can tell you my strategy every time I try to play Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear, Marvel 3, the greatest fighting game ever made. You name it, I have a strategy for it. But I just want to go over what I think is a valid strategy in most games. So if we're playing SF6 and I'm the Manon player and I'm playing against Ken, my strategy is to already know the danger points of my opponent's character. Ken has 4 to 5 things I would say are Ken's main way to deal damage, because obviously taking damage in fighting games are really bad. Drive Rush Jab, Dragon Lash, Low Forward Drive Rush, and the non-Ken related ones would be jumping, obviously, but every character can jump, and normal dashing. Those are the 5 main things on my mind when I queue up versus Ken, like valid Ken strategy. Already knowing that those 5 things are the strongest tools for Ken to really work his offense in, I'm already thinking of ways to counteract those 5 main things. Now, this is kind of where mental stack and whatever you're looking for comes into play. Now, if you're playing a Ken player and, you know, he's never drive rushing and all he's doing is dragon lashing, your mental stack would be higher on dragon lash than looking for a jump to say. Pretend that I drew this in each actually, I could draw this. Hold on. I'm cooking. Hey YouTube, iDom here. Quick little update. We're going to start uploading to the channel on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week. So if you guys aren't already subbed, be sure to sub to the channel and enjoy the videos in the upcoming weeks. So, you would divide your 5 main points that you're looking for per character. So this would be Dragon Lash. I'm going to put DL. This will be Drive Rush. This will be Jump, Low Forward Drive Rush. And this would be Normal Dash. If you're playing against a player that's abusing one of those kind of tactics, you would, you know, hone in more and just mental stack away from another one. My strategy when playing Manon is not even always necessarily to get the medal. Like, obviously, if I get a hit like this, I'm going to take a medal because why not? But my strategy when playing Manon is to make my opponent as uncomfortable as possible. That's always been kind of my, well, not really in most fighting games. But when I played Manon and Laura, I've always had my, like, strategy to kind of make my opponent as uncomfortable as possible. So like in, you know, high pressure situations, or like situations like this where it's kind of like we gotta make a guess. So if my opponent has like, you know, 30% life left and I have 5 medals per se, instead of going for like another medal here, say I got a hit that will leave them at 30%, instead of going for another medal here, you might see me do a combo like this, so I can force the last guess, which kind of forces the Ken player to have to make a guess in the last situation because he has to guess. There's Oki here, and he's going to get blown up. Forcing your opponents with Manon into very uncomfortable situations is the ideal way to play Manon, and that is kind of my strategy when going into different fights. And depending on what character I'm playing, or even what video game, whatever fighting game I'm playing, is kind of the strategy to kind of have. I think it's harder to make strategies in fighting games than it is for other genres, because other genres strategies are usually much more simpler, like, oh, just shoot the bad guy. But in fighting games, I feel like you got to come up with your own strategy or kind of your own play style. But I've kind of gotten like ways to kind of devise strategies, or even just watching so many fighting games, how people would try to win, or what strategy all the top players like, you know, Justin Wong, Yipes, etc. would come up with on how they wanted to win. It's hard to really explain strategies because, like I said, I think in Street Fighter 6, most modern strategies are pretty easy to explain. Like, if I'm being honest, if I'm the Ken player and I needed the Ken player to have a strategy, you know, this is my strategy. But this is just the right way to play the game. I want to go for another medal at max stacks. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't explain to you that, but yeah, don't go for a medal. As a player who doesn't have a style, how do you come up with your own, if that makes sense? If you don't have a style, you're going to be kind of wandering aimlessly even if you're new to fighting games, I would say just try to learn the very basic. Even having a basic game plan is still a style. Like if you're playing Ryu or something, your basic style wants to be just like learning how to throw fireball. If I want to just throw fireballs over and over again, that's kind of a good style to have. Or if you're Ryu and you want to be like, oh, well, I want to abuse my plus frame and just use solar plexus. Even having something like this is a good strategy to have, just like something to come up with, even if it's not the most rock solid game plan. But even when you have a strategy, you have to be wary of how can your strategy go bad. So yeah, I can just use solar plexus to kind of abuse plus frame, but at the same time, while I'm doing this, I gotta keep in the back of my mind, oh, if I just want to abuse solar plexus for plus frame, what happens if the Ken player jumps me? And then I get hit because I'm mashing solar plexus. It's hard to play defensive in this game, at least. I think playing defensive in this game is really hard. You kind of just gotta go forward. Is there a difference between strategy and tactics, you think? Reinhardt mentioned something about that. Strategy and tactics, I think, are kind of the same thing. I don't know how I would put that into kind of perspective. I think everyone has strategy and tactics. I think tactics go more into habits. The best way to maintain pressure with Manon, at least, getting a medal like this doesn't really give good Oki because I'm so far, so I gotta spend more drive meter to get back in. So whenever I get a hit like this, I'm thinking, damn, I gotta spend, what, 4 drive meters just to kind of maintain Oki, and that Oki's not even the best anyway. You kind of are picking between a high damaging combo or just getting Oki, because this does less damage, but I get better Oki because I'm plus 21 instead of being, you know, super far away and like plus 15. I'm super far away, and if I do command grab, I whip. So I kind of have to waste drive rush, versus here I'm plus 21 and I'm still close enough to do command grab. So maintaining pressure is good depending on what kind of knockdown you want. Even here I can do meaty to kind of get a meaty stand media punch for even more pressure. Talk about how weak Ken is. You're not even top 5. I don't think fighting games are that deep. There's like a street. Imagine you're going down a street, but every time you go down a street there's just a different path, but there's only like 5 streets. I think even having a strategy with Lily, I may not be the best person to act, but playing Lily would just be like get a lot of win stocks and then do Connor's fire. That's kind of a strategy. It's very basic, and that's kind of just the Lily strategy in general. But you would need ways to kind of sneak in getting win stocks and really just abusing your one really good special move. It's a basic strategy, but even it's still a strategy. I think this game is kind of hard to describe strategies in because a lot of the strategies in this game are very basic. Like, this game has to have one of the more simplistic ways to kind of beat somebody. Even at high level, you see, like, a lot of the best players kind of just have the one, you know, kind of like this. Like, this is so good in just SF6 in general. Like, this is a good strategy. And like I said, I'm putting the Ken player at kind of a guessing scenario. Is he going to tech my throw or not? Like, I think this is just a very easy, basic strategy in Street Fighter 6 in general. I don't think it's good for the game, but to each their own. Let me know what you guys think. I will probably try to do more deep dive videos kind of into, like, ways that I try to strategize how to win with, like, Manon or other characters in general in fighting games. But the strategy topic's always been kind of hard to really describe or put into words. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.